This is a Fatal 4 podcast.
Welcome to Didn't Get All of It. This week on the show, we are talking about WWE Bash in Berlin and NXT No Mercy. Could Randy Orton topple Gunther? And could Joe Hendry win the big one? No, but we're going to talk about all of that and more tonight on the pod, or today, whenever you're choosing to listen. It could be like really early in the morning. You could be one of those people. But joining me is the rest of the Fatal 4, including Cody.
I'm ready to bash and show no mercy.
Also here is B-Rob.
Yes.
And Noah.
How come they couldn't do No Mercy in the middle of the day like they did Bash in Berlin? I mean, I realized that they did Bash in Berlin in the middle of the day because it was, the evening in Berlin, because that's how the world and time zones work. But why couldn't they just do No Mercy in the middle of the day as like a special treat? Because that's, when people like to watch wrestling, this is the middle of the day.
Yeah, that would have been nice. That's the rest of the Fatal 4. I'm Paul Griffin. And I have stuff I want to talk about before we get into the wrestling stuff. Would you guys like to hear a gross story?
Yeah,
Yes.
gross me up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this morning, I guess it was last night, I went out to feed our stray cats that are outside and noticed that there was on the step a what looked like a long hairball. Like maybe one of the cats had puked, and I'm like, okay, I'll clean that up tomorrow. And then I went and looked at it again today, and I'm like, that doesn't look like a normal hairball.
It's poop.
No,
Human poop.
Hairballs
Worse.
can look like poop. I've confused.
So I
them.
went out there with a broom and like one of those push brooms, and like push broomed it off the step, and that's when the head fell off. This was a regurgitated rat that one of them had eaten and then puked
Whoa.
on the stairs. So I'm like, all right, I gotta push this like into the backyard and just bury it. So as I'm pushing it, it completely disintegrates, and now there are just like intestines strewn about
Wow.
outside my house.
Wait, hang on, Paul. You were
and
going
I'm
to
just gonna
bury
leave it
this
there.
thing?
I just want to cover it up.
But
Get it out of my sight.
why couldn't you just put it in the trash?
Because now I can't. It's in pieces.
But why was the first plan to bury it? You wanted to consecrate it? You wanted to
I
make
didn't
sure
wanna pick
that
it-
it moved on
I
to
don't-
the
I don't wanna-
afterlife?
I'm
What's
not
going
picking
on
up a
here?
regurgitated mouse.
Well, you don't have. Well, I
really-
guess you don't have dogs, so I guess you don't have like poop baggies or whatever.
No, we
dog
have.
people
I mean, we have cat litter bags, but even then, I'm not doing it. I'm not touching that. Just put it in the back, put some rocks on top of it, and let nature take its course. So
Give it
now
a
my
little
hope is
gravestone. Here lies regurgitated rat.
my hope is that nature will continue to take its course, and the kittens and all that will just like pick an intestine and take it away.
I'm surprised there was even
Regurgitated
a
rat is definitely a garage band somewhere.
Hell yeah! I'm surprised there was even a regurgitated rat. I've lived in Texas my whole life. I never seen
It was
a
a
rat.
small mouse. It was a small.
I never
small
seen a
mouse.
mouse.
I have never seen them here
Never
either.
seen a mouse?
But it was very small, and then like the more I pushed it with the broom, the more limbs fell apart until it just completely like ripped open, and it's so fucking gross.
Ugh.
So the other thing I want to talk about is how much I love Star Wars Outlaws. I probably should have led with that one. We were talking before the show about it, and we'll probably have to do a podcast about it later. But what a game I wasn't expecting to
different
like.
place for that. Yeah, I'm enjoying.
I was
it
not
too.
expecting it. But if folks want to hear more about that, listen to Squared Circle Strafe, where Noah talks about it on the show this week.
Yeah, Monday.
But we're not here to talk about regurgitated rats and Star Wars. We're here to talk about the weekend of pay-per-views, PLEs, if you will, like WWE
Regurgitated
Bash in
wrestling.
Berlin. Yeah, we are going to regurgitate what happened for you guys. Did anybody catch Bash in Berlin? I hope it was all of us.
I did.
Sure did.
Most of it. I turned it on, and the end of the first match was happening.
Noah. You didn't get all of it?
That is correct. That I did not.
That's our show this week, folks.
It's the music.
We'll be right back.
I was
didn't
really
catch this
loving the
live.
show
I was out during the day.
as it was going on.
Yeah. I also caught
And then they put the main
replay this
event on,
morning.
and I was shocked. The main event was like when you saw Joe Biden at the debate, where you're like really expecting them to be fine, and then and then the main event's like, wow, this is really long and not what I expected out of these guys.
Yeah, I think Randy Orton really wanted to have another greatest wrestling match ever, is kind of what it felt like.
No.
But that match was actually good.
Was it though?
Yeah, it was fun.
Because it was edited and plundered.
You know,
But, I
whatever
mean,
it takes.
So is this show.
do we want to? Yeah, do we want to start from the top of the card though with Cody and Owens?
Let's just pick random matches throughout both nights and just blurt out what we thought about them.
You know what? I was going to bring that up, that we should like volley between match to match. So like the first one on Berlin and the first one on NXT, then, you know, kind of volley back and forth.
What a mess that would be.
Awful.
That would be madness.
Yeah, Bash in Berlin kicked off with Cody Rhodes against Kevin Owens in just a regular match. Cody defending the WWE Championship. I saw a lot of people online saying that they thought one of these guys was going to turn.
I mean,
And then I realized that those people are very stupid because they haven't been watching the product, and it makes absolutely no sense for either of them to turn.
I mean, it was a thing. So like from top to bottom, I feel like this was a classic pro wrestling match. Like it had all the tenets of what, you know, earlier year pro wrestling is and whatnot. I thought this was like a classic Raw match from earlier on in, you know, WWE's goings on and whatnot. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like every move here in this match meant something or whatnot. It was just like, at this point though, after this match was over, I firmly feel that Cody needs a new finish, because that Crossroads just ain't doing it for me anymore.
He has a finish. It's the 3 Crossroads. One
Yeah,
Crossroads
but
is
that's
a
the
beer
thing.
fall. 3 is the finish.
Yeah, we need a de facto definitive finish. It's just
They
like
just need to
one
stop letting
move to
people kick
end it
out of it.
all. Yeah, for real. Just like one move to end it all.
I thought this match was fantastic.
It was great.
There was a incredible atmosphere, which was to be expected from a overseas PLE, but really hot crowd. I loved the slow build in the match, like them feeling each other out, you know, kind of
Classic
the story
shit.
they told was that, you know, these two are friends and they're gonna just wrestle, but wrestle clean. And Kevin Owens having that internal struggle of,
Yeah.
you know, when Cody was hurt, him wanting to take advantage and kick him in the leg, but not doing it because that's his friend. And the tease of
That was
apron powerbomb.
Yeah, but that was the thing that I had the issue with about this match and whatnot. So like Kevin Owens had that internal struggle, and I'm getting tired of that pro wrestling trope or whatever. I mean, at this point for me, when I'm watching these things, like as competitors, I'm looking at this stuff as like, you do what you got to do to win. You know, face or heel, it doesn't fucking matter. It's just like you do what you got to do to win, to get you the checks in your pocket and, you know, take home the money to your family. That's what I'm looking at these matches like. So when I look at Kevin Owens struggle to do the apron power bomb, to kick Cody in the leg after it's been injured, and that's the story that they told in this match, I'm like, why is he feeling this way when Cody is not fucking feeling the same way towards him? Cody is doing all the things that he needs to do to win. Fucking pile drivers, all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's just
He
like,
didn't do a pile driver.
And that's
I'm just saying.
And that's exactly it. And that's the story, is that Cody's a champion because he's willing to do those things, and Kevin Owens is not and hasn't been in 7 years.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. That's good. You're saying that as a critique, as if that's bad, but that's good.
No. I'm just saying, just like, I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just like, why is he struggling? You know, but like, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm not saying it in a bad context. I don't want to put that out there. But like, cause like I even like how commentary brought that out or whatever, especially Wade Barrett. Like his dynamic with Cole is like, he's, the heel, but like he's speaking the truth. It's just like, that's why Kevin Owens hadn't been a champion in 7 or 8 years or whatever, because he's not willing to do what it takes to fucking win. And then prior to that, he's been cheated out of his opportunities anyway with the bloodline shit and all that other stuff.
I know we're trying to get to Cody versus The Rock at some point, and then unfortunately the inevitable Roman Cody 3, which I have zero desire to ever see.
I don't know if I go back there, but I don't think we go there.
I would love for something after WrestleMania where like we can get Kevin Owens in the title picture and like they just bounce the belt around a bit as opposed to long title reigns, because Gunther's not losing the title for a while. I know that Cody's going to have to hold it like to Mania for this Rock program. But like after that, have him drop it like the next PLE and then have that guy drop it back and then like get some crazy shit going where the belt just flies around for a minute where people just win the belt.
I wouldn't be opposed to Cody dropping it even the Monday night after Raw or whatever.
Sure. I would love to see a title change on TV. That'd be cool. Or on Netflix, I guess.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Because that'll be instituted by then.
Hell,
I
don't know.
CW NXT October 1st.
Yeah, interesting things are on the horizon. I just would love for like one belt to be winnable, and it doesn't make someone look weak if they lose the title. Like, let's get to a spot where it's like Rock and Austin and Triple H like bouncing belts around.
Yeah.
Did you know that the WCW World Heavyweight title changed hands in May of 2000 6 times?
That's too much. Like, I'm fine with it, but that's too much.
Was David
In 1
Arquette
month,
and
6 times.
Vince Russo in that mix?
No, that they're like on the other ends of those, because Russo was in September and Arquette was in April. It was like Booker T, Ric Flair, Jarrett, Kevin Nash. The title just hopped around. Like, yeah, that's the other extreme end of the point that Paul's making. But like, I kind of miss stuff like that in wrestling, where you never knew who was gonna win a title match, and I don't know.
And I think we also at a point to where like we have so much great or mid or good talent out there to where like I would say take away titles, but if we take those away, it's just like a whole bunch of it's just waiting pool for people to get their opportunity to get the main title and whatnot.
I would love to see Kevin Owens as champion again, just for like 2 months, and still be involved in that program. I hope we haven't seen the last of AJ Styles as a champion.
Yeah,
it's a little weird that Shinsuke never won it. I think you can make the argument for a month-long title run if you wanted to. Like, there's a lot of people that are just excellent. It's not killing the business if it's exciting and the belt could change on a SmackDown.
If you put it on Shinsuke, it'll kill the business.
No, it would not.
They don't got people like that anymore. They got rid of Jinder. But this match was a hoot. I really liked the spot where Kevin Owens was kind of working over Cody's knee, but then it was injured, and Kevin's like, should I attack this knee and like really take him out? And Cody eventually shoved him and said, like, I'm fine. So Kevin Owens just kicked him right in the knee. I thought that was great. There were some really good near falls.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, there was a stunner. Cody sold the stunner like magic. He didn't do one of those obnoxious like launch in 10 feet into the air. He just took it and flopped over. It was great. Kevin Owens kicked out of a crossroads at one point. A good use of finisher kickouts here, I'd say.
Yeah, because it was 1-1 more or less until it came down to the end.
And then, post match they raised each other's hands and everybody had a good time and they went home.
But like, to what the even commentary brought up at one point, like how Kevin Owens used to be or whatever, and it even like in that moment, what you were saying about the hand raising and all that stuff, I thought Kevin Owens was going to pull him in and stunner him. But like, we didn't get that. And it's okay.
We've had Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton program before, right?
I can't recall.
Because that would be something for both guys to do if they wanted to turn Kevin again.
Yeah. I guess.
So the next match, I think we were all not expecting much out of. The Alba Fire and Isla Dawn defending against Bianca and Jade. And this ruled.
What?
Yeah.
This was really good.
No.
This is a good match. Yeah,
no,
I mean,
sorry. The Unholy Alliance are actually terrible.
That is an insane take. You clearly didn't watch this match.
I did. They are very sloppy, and I
don't think that's what it is.
The guy who likes CM Punk is not allowed to complain that someone is a sloppy wrestler.
Yeah.
CM Punk
When
was
CM
not
Punk's
sloppy at all on the show.
Sloppy.
You like Doink and Boogeyman, so
Good
I'm
wrestler.
always
Those
bring
guys
that
weren't
up.
sloppy. They were just bad. Well, Doink was.
The Boogeyman was very sloppy. He ate worms, sir.
He needs to come to my yard and clean up my mess.
Now, but let's talk about this match. I mean, because this match kind of like with the help of commentary or whatever, it kind of emphasized the thing that I talk to y'all about sometimes about the things that y'all don't watch. They talked up Isla Dawn and Alba Fire great because they made their career in this region of the world, and they were champions in this region of the world. And they, you forget Alba Fire was one of the longest running UK NXT women's champions and all kinds of things like that or whatever because of what you see currently. And, it's just like, I try to tell y'all a lot of times to where like, these people are good coming from all these other different places, but whatever. But like when you get the small sample size serving here that's not up to your expectation, you automatically think these people are shit. And I'm glad that commentary kind of brought that out.
I don't need that when they've been in this company for so long. I think they're actually good, and they should remain in the program because they've shown up and showed out during this title run.
Mm-hmm.
But they, of course, lost to Bianca and Jade because I don't know. I think if you're keeping
they
Bianca
got a story
and Jade together,
there. I don't know I don't know why they're doing that, but
if you're keeping them together, it's hard not to have the titles on them because they need
dominant.
Yeah, you don't want them to be like, well, Bianca hasn't done shit in a while.
I don't know. It's a weird when you're dealing with those two or whatever, because I feel like if it was another tag team, Elba and Dawn would have retained and just been business as usual or whatever. But like, I don't know because I firmly thought, and we talked about this before, that this was the crack between Jade and Bianca. That's why I thought this was going to all start at, because when she stepped in this company day one, this was the feud for me. Jade and Bianca or whatever. I mean, that remains to be seen, but like, I didn't get, them putting the title on it. It makes sense to what you were just saying, but like, I don't know. It's weird shit.
I don't think they're ready to do that yet because Jade is still like the hot tag champion.
Still working on it.
Like she's getting there. And I think that a Bianca heel turn needs to mean something more. So they need to get, I don't know, a little more. Into Jade.
Yeah, and that's interesting too. So like, you think when the turn happens, it's going to be Bianca vice Jade?
Well, if you ever want to do Bianca versus Rhea, Bianca's going to have to be the heel at this point.
Right. I
think you do want to still get to that match.
Not opposed.
I think there's more options for a heel Bianca than keeping her as a, bland baby face.
Yeah. And then like,
I like this though. There was a couple like miscommunications in terms of like, there was some weird double team they tried to do at one point where they didn't get all of it. Unfortunately, no one said it, but they recovered very nicely.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have here as well. Is just like there was good recovery in here, even though they had a couple of missteps and miscues and whatnot. There was a good counter recovery and whatnot. So I mean, props to both sides on that aspect and whatnot. And the double team aspect from both sides was pretty good.
They both do really wacky double teams.
Yeah,
like the spot that I liked the most was, and I feel like I've never seen this before. Bianca threw, I think it was Isla Dawn outside of the ring, like just through the middle ropes.
Yeah, and Jade caught
her and then tossed her into the barricade. It was just such a unique thing. I've never seen that before.
They do that weird, like wheelbarrow double kick like suplex,
Yeah. Mhm.
and I'm like, man, just do a 3D. Like, we don't gotta get complicated here.
Yeah. It's like very rapid. It's supposed to be moves in rapid succession. So it starts with a DDT, then she pushes her up off her feet into the wheelbarrow German and whatnot. So it's just like
It's a lot. It's cool, but it's a lot,
it's
and
a
it's
lot.
never the finish. But yeah, I thought this was still pretty good, even though Cody hated it.
Yeah. And then like good selling on Isla Dawn or whatever, because like in the beginning she went for the running knees in the corner, and I think it was Bianca that moved out of the way and she took the knees into the turnbuckles and whatnot. So that would come back later on in the match when
it never went away. I was watching the match because I missed that
Yeah.
spot, and I thought she was genuinely hurt because every time something happened, she would like mess with her knee.
grab the
And
knees.
she would
Yeah.
go, yeah, she was fucking with her knee pad the whole match. It's
Mhm.
I missed that spot. So
Yeah.
I thought I really think both of these girls have like really stepped it up.
hmm
Like they got the opportunity and they showed it. I hope they don't just fizzle out like a Candace and Indy tag team.
Yeah. For sure. But all in all, it was a pretty good match. You still, I don't know what the thinking is. I mean, we'll see it, in the future, I guess. I don't see what was the use of the title change, but hey, man, it makes sense. I mean, if they're going to be dominant, if they're going to be together for a while, sure, whatever. But I don't know.
You're kidding yourself if you don't think that the title change was strictly because of what happened when they were in Scotland.
Just by being there.
No, one of their parents died. I forget who now, but
Yeah, but it wasn't in Scotland. That was in Florida.
no, I know. But I'm saying, like,
I don't think they gave her a title to say sorry about your mom.
I think they did.
I thought it was
Because
because
that-
she came home.
I don't think that works. I don't think that does the trick.
Yeah.
Like, sorry about your mom. Can you come to work? We'll make you the champion.
That sounds
Oh,
exactly
shit.
like what happened.
What happened to Sonya Deville then? I mean, somebody broke into her house and almost committed the murder and shit. They ain't putting no titles on her.
No, but they did have her in a team with Mandy, and I think that's kind of winning in its own right.
True.
Let's get away from this problematic discussion and talk about the strap-on match with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
All right, so I'm gonna let y'all have this floor for discussion, because when I look down at what I have for this match, my first thing that I have, and this is verbatim.
Did you write
Didn't
this
really-
stinks? They only gave Punk this match because his bracelet was stolen.
No,
You felt bad.
well, close. I put didn't really care for it. Fast forward.
Huh.
I
crazy.
disagree. I thought this was
This match
significantly
was-
better than their SummerSlam match too.
I did too. Yeah.
But I did, this. I only had 3 things on it, so I'll go through that real quick. You heard what I just said, and then I thought it was funny in my mind. But Wade Barrett on commentary said that Drew McIntyre is falling on his sword or some shit like that or whatever, and I was like, "Ha, that's funny because he used to carry a sword, right?"
Sure.
And then at some point in the match, CM Punk's strap came off his wrist, and they was like still doing things and stuff, and they didn't address it. The referee tried to get in the
He
middle
was-
of a
he was
brawl
quick
to
to get
put
it
the
back
strap
on.
back on his wrists. It just kind of took me out for a second, but that's just like a small nitpick, so nothing major there. But I wish they would have been like, if he would have went for a corner pad or whatever on commentary and he didn't have the strap on his wrist, the referee would have been like, hey man, that doesn't count because he didn't have the strap on his wrist or some shit like that. But small itty bitty nitpick, nothing, no consequence there. Shit happens.
This match was great.
The
This had
floor is
the
yours.
intensity required from this feud.
I thought it started slow. I was very worried about how
No,
slow it
what are you
started.
talking? The start was great. How they started fighting before putting the straps on and
No,
brawling to the outside, and
I thought the start was good, but when it became Drew McIntyre got the upper hand and now CM Punk has to sell, I thought we were getting another SummerSlam CM Punk moves slow and gets beat down match. And that was not what happened, which I was very happy with.
Mm-mm.
They did have the lights.
Yeah,
Which,
those lights look
They're so
bad.
stupid.
I think the problem with them, just from a production standpoint, is that they never look good on camera. Like they're never lined up properly in the frame that makes them appealing to the eye. Like it just they look silly.
You know what?
You probably don't need it either.
You know what I'm thinking about as y'all talk about it, because I mean I didn't have a problem with those so much, but like they have LED or video screen post, right? Why can't they just light those things up and use that?
Well, they didn't at this show. They didn't have LED like anything.
They should just put like a lower third like diagram of a ring with illuminated light or ring post.
Yeah, they could. I guess that could work.
Something to think about next time they do a strap match in 15 years.
But hey, man, we spoke about this previous, right? It was just like
they even did the Eddie spot that we called out.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I was wondering if they was going to do it, and they did it.
Yeah, I like that. I'm
glad Punk won
the lights
because keeps his streak alive. He's undefeated in strap matches.
So I had a question for you. Like I said, I didn't watch this match with full capacity. I kind of watched toward the end and everything or whatever. But when I'm just looking at via the internet, and you know the internet is fallible and everything, but like,
what?
Did
not my
Punk?
internet.
Did Drew put the bracelet in his trunks?
Yeah, he pulled it out of his trunks.
So he pulled it out of his trunks. Punk retrieved it. Then he started kissing on it. That would have been on that man nuts.
Yeah.
We don't know that. Could have been above his nuts.
But that was in his crotchal region.
Maybe he could have lifted around his ween.
Still, that doesn't make it better.
He tucked it in his taint. Classic taint.
I'm not a wrestler. I'm not a seamstress, but I'm sure they have something figured out because wrestlers have been pulling foreign objects out of their trunks for decades.
Hey, it does not matter, dog.
I don't think
if he had a secret pocket or if he had a pouch or a zipper thing or whatever it is, that's still in your crotchal region, and it's still sweaty and it's still hot. It's still stinky. That's nasty.
I've been keeping all that didn't get all of its stickers and coasters in my boxers in case I run into you guys.
I liked the part of the match where Drew had Punk on his shoulders. And as Drew was going around tagging,
the Eddie spot
each corner. Oh, that's the Eddie spot. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen an Eddie spot.
Wow, you're no Sasha Banks fan.
I guess so.
If you've seen enough Sasha Banks, you've seen every Eddie match. Yeah, I liked that they did that. I liked at one point Drew passed out of the sharpshooter pain, which we thought was a little silly. There was a part in this match where they were explaining the rules of you can go tag the turnbuckles, but if your momentum is stopped, then everything resets. And there was at one point that there wasn't a fast enough reset for Michael Cole's liking, and he lost his absolute mind. He was like screaming. He's like, the momentum has stopped. The light should turn off. And he just couldn't get over it. It was so funny to me. And then, of course, like, momentum in wrestling is defined as who has the upper hand, because at the the finish of this match was Punk hit a turnbuckle, did a GTS, hit another turnbuckle, did another GTS.
Turnbuckle,
it was slow.
GTS, yeah.
I would say the momentum had slowed to quite the halt at this point.
Yeah, like, but for me personally, like in that moment or whatever, so like he touched the turnbuckle pad, he left the completion of the circuit to do a move. To me, the circuit, the turnbuckle touches stop. It resets then when you leave the circuit to do a move.
Not the rules of the match.
That's not.
They thoroughly explained it at the beginning. Like, they did a good job explaining that it has to be, your momentum has to be stopped by an offensive maneuver from your opponent.
Yeah, so like if Drew had hit him right before that last GTS, we'd have to start all the way over from the beginning.
Right, but that's not what happened. Instead, Punk hit a whole bunch of GTSs and he won, and it was fucking awesome.
I will say, as someone who likes CM Punk and is also aware of his age and his ability to get injured easily, it brings me lots of joy to see him pick someone up as big as Drew McIntyre and not fall down. Like the bar is really low for me to just be happy about CM Punk.
That is
Okay.
pretty impressive.
looking-
He's very large.
I'm looking forward to his Hell in a Cell match with Drew.
I will say I
Also-
would not be able to stay upright while holding Drew McIntyre. Also, I feel like I did notice that CM Punk is looking the best that he's looked since returning to WWE. Like he's looking
Yeah.
pretty full up in the shoulder area. You know what I mean?
I'd say he's probably in the best physical shape of his career.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
maybe.
yeah, I would. Because
Wow.
he's got muscle definition now. That's not something he used to have, unless
That's
you bought
fair.
an action figure of his. There was something else I wanted to say about this that I liked. Oh, I just liked how decisive it was, as opposed to like there was no shenanigans at the end. Punk got his bracelet back. He hit his GTSs. I assume we're going to get the Hell in a Cell match. I think it is now a safe time for Punk to wrestle on Raw, like do a tag match or something. But like he shouldn't be a every other pay-per-view guy.
Yeah, and Punk also did a interview with Kathy Kelly after his match where he said what was next for him was the World Heavyweight title and that he was coming for Gunther. So
Gunther's going to remove that tattoo from his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
we might eventually get that
Fine,
match,
that
which
was
is great. But I think what happens next is like kind of the reverse of what was happening before, where Punk is now going to try to go for the world title and Drew McIntyre is going to do anything to stop it. And that's what's going to set up the Hell in a Cell.
Oh, the Hangman Swerve.
Yeah, but quicker.
Yeah.
Because like Drew McIntyre interrupted Gunther like 2 weeks ago and got jumped by Punk. That's probably the exact same segment that's going to happen on Monday.
Right. Just
Yeah.
the opposite. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm here for it.
So, I mean, we can move on to the next match because like, I
We
thoroughly
could.
enjoyed that one.
We could move on to the next match, but first, I would like to take a break because I am here. And last time you guys did this, it was very difficult to
We
add
did.
breaks into the show. So when we come back, we're going to talk about the Terror Twins against the Judgment Day, Gunther against Randy, and then we're going to kick off our talk on NXT No Mercy. All that and more right after this.
Squared Circle Strafe, the premier video game podcast of the Fatal 4 Podcasting Network. Join me, Pro Wrestling Noah, as I talk all of the latest gaming news in the industry, as well as insights into recent releases and beyond. There's plenty of 3-hour podcasts of people talking about video games on the internet, but Squared Circle Strafe provides a quick snapshot into what's going on in the world of gaming. The show updates on Mondays, so be sure to subscribe in whatever podcatcher you use so that you're always up to date.
Enjoy your gaming.
And we're back. The gang's still all here. We're going to talk about the Terror Twins, which I think is a cute nickname for two people who are very good friends to have. I think it's a very silly nickname for TV.
Great
But their
t-shirt.
new
too.
t-shirt, their t-shirt fucking rules.
I want that t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's very hot topic, but it's very like on brand.
Yeah.
It looks great. Terror Twins against Dominic and Liv.
Dom Love. Dom Live. Live Dom.
They're just the Judgment Day.
Live Dom repeat.
Yeah. This was honestly kind of a Raw match, but because there's so much heat here, it made it a lot more impactful.
I thought it was fun. I didn't have too much to say about it or whatever. I enjoyed it. It was just like a fun time and cheeks and plunder. There you go.
I think this match, I had low expectations because from a booking standpoint, this could have very easily just been a squash. Like Priest and Rhea should have just steamrolled through them. And I thought it was way more creative than that and really surprised the hell out of me. And this honestly was match of the night.
Mhm.
I thought,
I think that's crazy, but
nah,
glad
like
you enjoyed it.
No,
the dynamic
I
was
agree. Yeah.
so good.
I
and
yeah. I
crowd
agree
was
with
so
Cody.
into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with it because it's like, as far as everything that I had to say about stuff, I just enjoyed this. I didn't have anything to nitpick. I didn't have anything to critique. I didn't have anything I really wanted to point out. I just really enjoyed the match.
Yeah, the whole thing was a blast. And the loudest pop of the night was when Rhea locked in that head scissors on Dom in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
That was like
callback.
That was huge. It was awesome. It was so much fun once the rest of Judgment Day came down and was bumping like crazy.
Yeah.
JD McDonough took a pounce from Priest where he went 30 yards over the announce table. Liv Morgan really showed out and was doing things I've never seen before, like that.
I liked her weird new twisty do move.
Yeah, like an abdominal stretch into like a I don't know, code red type of thing.
Yeah, I kept seeing people comparing that to like apparently that move is done in like Stardom a lot.
Yes, we'll talk about it and then get all of it Japan.
Yeah.
It's honestly cooler than the Oblivion, and I think it should be her new finish. But either way, Dominic took a bunch of crazy bumps, like the clothesline on the table was sick. I don't know. It's just a blast the whole way through. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
The tables really held up well on this night.
Not so much.
I was impressed with
until it didn't.
Yeah. Also, worth noting, Judgment Day does not get to keep the purple color. They are now black and white.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the color schemes on the last episode. Priest and Rhea said, no, we're keeping purple in this divorce.
Yeah. And then, like, when I look at Priest and Rhea, it looks like on screen and just like them as a tandem, it works for me. And like, it almost makes me feel like we should have more, mixed match.
More platonic relationships in wrestling.
Like a mixed match challenge, perhaps?
Yeah. Bring it back. But yeah, I enjoyed the whole thing. I mean, it was cool stuff.
Also, I popped really hard for Wade Barrett saying that Dominic had the best mustache since Eli Cottonwood.
That was so funny. What a weird
what a
weird reference to make.
Noah.
I have no idea who that is.
Nobody knows who Eli Cottonwood is.
Noah, you have homework tonight. I need you to just go to YouTube and search for Eli Cottonwood NXT promo.
NXT. Okay.
I'm doing it right now.
Couldn't even tell you where that, like, what company that would have been.
NXT,
man.
Oh, I thought so. He was supposed to be in the Wyatt family briefly.
Yes, he was like the first in like the first vignettes, wasn't it? Him and Bray Wyatt.
That's what I'm seeing.
Such
an obscure,
the big tall goofy motherfucker. Yeah.
Cody, you got his Topps trading card?
Yeah. Do you?
I do actually.
Cody?
I do.
Oh no.
That Topps Platinum, Eli Cottonwood 2010.
Yes, I have that, and Bray Wyatt's rookie card is in that set as well, which I also have in a PSA 10.
Kip Christensen is a American retired professional wrestler.
Sure.
Oh my god.
Normally, when people say someone is retired, I assume that means they've made all the money. They've made all the money they can make, and now they're collecting Social Security. I do believe that Eli Cottonwood made all the money he could make in the wrestling industry, but I don't believe he made enough to retire.
Oh my god. Oh my god. At the end of his Wikipedia page, he is active on Twitter, where he often voices his support for figures such as Donald Trump and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., while spreading conspiracy theories from sources such as QAnon.
Yeah, that
tracks.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Name like Cottonwood, I guess.
Yeah. So that all tracks. You get banged in the head enough, you do fall down that rabbit hole. So we all liked this tag match. Great. Here we go. Orton versus Gunther. In a match that should have delivered because they did last time. This went on for a fucking eternity. And I felt like it was never going to end.
Okay. I was really worried. that you were gonna like this, Paul, because I was seeing some people
I hated
online
it.
talk about how good this was, and I was like,
Nah,
what?
nah, fam.
This was so boring.
All it was a
35 minutes
statement
long.
win.
That was fine. I liked the finish quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
But what I hated, they worked the entire match around disabling Gunther's arm, which took away his slaps. It took away his clotheslines. It made it hard for him to do power bombs. You basically just took his entire moveset from him. And then you wrestled for 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know I don't pay attention much and whatnot, but like, I know Orton had the thing of like, you know, getting the guy down in his moveset or whatever to where he stumped all the appendages and the limbs and whatnot. But like, from what I can recall, or just what pops to mind in this match is just Orton working his arm and all the stuff like how Paul was saying or whatever. I mean, is that like a normal thing for him?
Who, Orton working the arm?
Yeah, just working an appendage.
No, this is just
Exactly.
To make
That's what I'm saying. It
Gunther
just
to win.
seemed weird.
I mean, I get it. I think it's a logical route to take. I would have shaved 15 minutes off of this match. They did not need 35 for this at all. You could have told
But
the
the
exact
only-
same story in 20.
Yeah, but the only thing that I can point out that I liked about this whole thing or whatever is just like Orton the veteran or whatever. It's just like his facials and just like a lot of the things that he emoted during this match. He did that masterfully. But like Gunther or whatever, you know, he showed vulnerability or whatever to where like he's always been like a dominant figure in professional wrestling and whatnot. To see him show vulnerability in this match, it kind of added to his character and everything. But like, dog, did I care?
No. I think they both work very well together. I think I'm not one of the Randy Orton haters, obviously, where people are like,
I am.
what do you mean he's the greatest wrestler? He's fucking boring. He does the same. Yeah, duh. But I disagree. On
Are
most
you
of
just
those.
quoting me? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I disagree with most of those points. I think he's very tremendous, and he's very capable of bringing out the best in people. I just think that the story they were telling in this match was overblown. It went way too fucking long. We did get a cool spot where Orton did his back body drop thing through an announce table, but he had to like climb the steps to do it. They also pointed out a few times that the ref was being lenient in this match, which I've noticed also came up tonight on NXT, which might be a new thing. Where referees are like, I guess like cops, they let things slide more.
Yeah.
I guess eventually referees just aren't going to work anymore, and you won't be able to find them if you need them. Sorry, now I'm going on a little tirade. That's probably why they have wrestlers being refs.
So if they're like cops, are they gonna be less lenient during, I don't know, let's see, Montez Ford matches,
Yes.
Wes Lee matches?
Look, I don't want this storyline, but I wouldn't be opposed to like a corrupt referee storyline. We haven't had one of those in forever.
This is
Let me point you
NWO.
to the Invasion and Nick Patrick.
You know what? Forever. That was 23 years ago. You weren't even born yet.
Hold on.
We used to have twin towers, but when that happened, they looked exactly.
Now we just
the
have
same.
Terror Twins.
Now we have one tower. And
we used to have
Thanks, Obama.
Terror Twins.
Yeah,
A second
that was
corrupt
forever
referee has
ago.
hit the Terror Twins.
No, the second corrupt referee has screwed the Street Profits.
Oh no.
You thought it was just the first one, and then the other one came up from the side.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Give me some referee storylines, and not just like Aubrey Edwards being like hogging the screen at all times. Like, give me like an actual thing.
What about when she had a match against Mrs. Jeff Jarrett?
Very bad. Don't do that. Referees should
Yeah.
never wrestle. They should just be corrupt shitheads.
Her first and her last match.
Yeah. Oh, I just
yeah,
give you an example. I gave you an example.
This was a tough match to get through, but the finish was really strong. Gunther choked out Orton.
Yeah, good
So
shit.
there's no confusion on if Gunther could win or not. He beat him.
Yeah,
And then
big,
after
meaty Orton.
after Orton shook his hand, and everybody was happy that the show was over.
Yep. big meaty.
Otherwise, the
Orton
show is
with
really
his
good. I
Nutella.
thought the first 4 matches of this show, I think, are worth going out of your way for.
Mhm.
A show I don't feel similarly to. Let's jump into NXT No Mercy. This was a show
Talk about this one.
that took place, and it kicked off with Chase U defending the tag titles against Nathan Frazier and Axiom. This went about the way I expected, and quickly.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good match as far as like, Nathan Frazier and Axiom banner tag team or whatever. I like them a lot or whatever. They got their titles back. So, I mean, I'm not spoiling everything or whatever. And all this stuff was kind of foreshadowed or
Spoilers,
whatnot.
B-Rob. We're recapping.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing was foreshadowed or whatever because, I don't know if I talked to y'all about it or, it was just some stuff that I said in the Discord or whatever. But, when you added Rich Holland to the mix or whatever, it was cause for shenanigans or whatever because he was this heel beforehand that just lumped in with Chase U, and which is not uncommon because we got Duke Hudson, which was similar in that way or whatnot. But, like, he even did things deliberate in his speak and whatnot. So it was like, as long as we have these titles, I have Chase U's back. And as soon as they lost the motherfucking titles, he kicked their ass.
Yeah.
I thought the match was mostly fun, but
that's the thing is Chase U has good matches on PLEs, but if you watch NXT, they're completely different acts.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
And
the act stinks, but they wrestle really good when, I don't know, they're not in that Florida building.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that's it. I don't know.
And then there's like also Chase U with the fit, man. It's like I don't normally like Jordans, but like I like those all red Jordans that he had on.
I thought the post match angle sucked. I mean, you could see it coming from a mile away, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, it just.
Why am I so violent? Holding my hands up as I look at them.
Thea Hale is one of the worst actors I've ever seen in my entire life. Her fake crying while Rich Holland does a shitty DDT on the table. And then my biggest pet peeve with this was they run this angle and they also like replayed it like 50 times on the show. But immediately after it, they cut into the video package for the next match, which recaps this exact same angle taking place between Zachery, Wentz, and Wes Lee. Like, bar for bar. They wrestled Axiom and Nathan Frazier and lost, and then Wes Lee turned on him. Like, what are we doing? It's fucking stupid.
Hey. Yeah, and then like, nitpicky bullshit or whatever. I mean, it's nothing of consequence. So they had that banner promo between the two of them last week on NXT television or whatnot. And Zach Wentz would go away this Friday and win a title. That he would have a pre-show NXT promo about, you said I wouldn't shit, I wouldn't this and this, but I got a title and you don't, yada, 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 yada. Comes to the ring with the title. It's not acknowledged. It's nothing said about it. It's just like there as an ornament and whatnot. And it's just like, whatever.
Not acknowledged. They very much, he was announced as the TNA X Division champion. They talked about it on commentary that he had a big weekend and whether or not he was going to be able to ride the wave of momentum.
It was even picked up in the match and almost utilized.
Yeah, it was very much a part of the story here. That is a bad criticism. What is a good criticism is the fact that they were talking about how heated this rivalry was. They showed this video package where they were brawling.
Oh, yeah,
they couldn't stop, beating up each other. They hate each other's guts. And then the bell rings and they start doing choreographed dancing and flippy doos.
I have in my notes that MSK was flipping mad in this match.
Yeah,
they're so mad at each other they could not stop flipping.
So this was
I hated it.
This was the thing. So I want to pose this to y'all or whatever, because we talked about it a lot in our in the Discord chat and whatnot. And you too can be a part of the Discord exclusively if you go to our Patreon at fatal4pod.com. That's FOUR pod.com and sign up for $3 a month. That you bring up the thing about the two flippy guys or whatnot. And do you feel like that it took away from the match in regards of like classic pro wrestling, to where like you have one definitive heel, one definitive face, and usually the styles vary between the two, but these two had a similar or same style. So do you think that took away from the match?
I will say I don't mind this as much as Cody did, because this is how they know how to fight. And they also escalated the hostility throughout the match. So it went from flippy doos to eventually Wes Lee just chopping his legs out from under him. And then it escalated to, brawling it outside the ring, and eventually the finish, which
breaking down.
Look, you guys have heard me complain about Canadian destroyers. Not this one. This was perfect. This is exactly how you're supposed to do them. Zach Wentz comes off the apron, hits a Canadian destroyer on the floor, rolls Wes Lee back into the ring, and then hits this wacky cutter and then pins him for a 3 count. There was no kick out at 1. There was no mid-match destroyer. This was the finish, and it was great. I thought I thought they escalated nicely.
But I think the escalation was ass backwards, because the match.
I don't disagree that if you didn't like this, no one's going to change your mind. But I definitely didn't hate it.
I just think it should have started with the intensity and the brawling, and like Wes Lee doing the, hard hitting kicks and stuff like that. But it just, and then like it could progress to them being like tired from fighting, and then have it like resorting to their flippy doos and stuff.
They're so tired they have to flip.
Yes. Like, and
I'm
also
so tired we have to flip.
have these two ever wrestled each other before? Because it felt very much like they just didn't have chemistry. Like it felt like Wes Lee was trying not to hurt his friend, which is the exact opposite of what this story is. Like, he was throwing some kicks that looked so weak.
Well, I mean, I thought that's the kind of
disaster. I thought it was terrible.
I think it's kind of the crux of, your friend or whatever. Cause like the promo was opposite of what the intensity was, to your point, I guess, maybe. So like the promo, they was just cutting each other down, but when they get in the ring, like you said, he pulling kicks and all kinds of things like that. So I mean, like, they are friends, and you don't want to hurt your friend, but it does take you out of the moment and whatnot. I really just, I don't know. I thought there was going to be more to it toward the end, to where like I knew Trey Miguel was going to show up, but I thought it was going to be like on the opposite spectrum, to where like he would have showed up and helped Wes. Just
they would have broke up the Rascals.
Just for bullshit.
TNA team.
That'd been so funny if WWE like forced TNA's hand. They're like, sorry, we broke up your tag team. Good luck with that.
Just for bullshit. Just for bullshit or whatever, because Wes Lee is probably going to go over to TNA and do some shit over there. But I don't know. I mean, I thought it was fine.
I definitely didn't hate it, but I think hating it is, this is one of the few times where I think Cody has valid arguments that should not be dismissed. Everything else, though, right in the trash.
The rest of the show is what you mean, right? Because the rest of the show should go right in the trash.
Yeah.
Well, what was next? Or do you want to take a break?
Wendy Chu and Kalani Jordan. We'll take a break after this. But Wendy Chu and Kalani Jordan. Goodness.
And I haven't heard a crowd this quiet since Mercedes versus Britt Baker.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's just like, I like both of these people, but this match, was like,
before we dive all the way into the match itself, I see a lot of people being like, well, it's development, you shouldn't criticize them. She's the champ. So like,
yeah,
it's not development. They're on TV. Like, yes, it's a development product to get them ready for the main roster, but like,
level up is
if you're not ready to be the champion on the show and be on the card of PLEs, then you shouldn't be the champion and you shouldn't be on these cards. And I like Kalani Jordan. I think she's going to be something good someday. Yeah. Today is not that day.
And I was
whatever the fuck is Wendy Chu doing, like, that's its own problem. And putting them together, no one knows why Wendy Chu is spoopy.
Yeah, like, I like no gimmicks, and this doesn't make
a
any
heel.
sense.
Like, none of it works. After Tatum Paxley beat up Wendy Chu, I thought they were cool. I don't know. And I watch these shows, and it's so confusing what's going on in the spoopy world.
Well, yeah,
but it should all stop.
it seems like, the spooky aspects or whatever is just like, it seems like it's father for just kind of a build up for October that's coming soon and Halloween Havoc and all kinds of stuff. Because what I want, and I doubt if we get it, and I know we won't get it. Since Rosemary showed up, I wish they would bring Havoc in and they would just do like a spooky lady battle royal or some shit like that. Just get all the spooky ladies together and just let them do spooky
bitches
things.
battle bash.
Yeah, so you can have Wendy Chu, you can have Elba and Dawn come down to do that. You can have Tatum in there. You can bring Rosemary in, Scarlett, freaking the chick with balls. What's it? Shotzi. You can have her in there.
Shotzi can't wrestle, and I don't mean that like she's hurt.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about.
Well, she can still host though. She can still host.
Yeah, she'll host.
So yeah, just have them all around. Just do all that.
It'll be like that. It's gonna be like that MTV VMA where they had like Jessie J sitting in the crowd with a boot on her foot from several years ago. It was like the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but it was like a weird music industry being like, we have to get Jessie J over with music fans, but she twisted her ankle, so she's just gonna sit on a throne and commentate like the VMA show. Just Shotzi in a boot watching NXT is very funny to me. That's a very obscure reference that I don't expect anyone on this show to get because only I'm the one who likes music.
Well, okay. Anyway, this match stunk. I don't think we need to spend any more time on it.
It did fucking stink.
It was a fucking dud. The crowd was completely dead, and the post-match angle, they were even somehow more quiet for that than the match itself.
Yeah,
there was. I don't know what they're teaching down here, and this I have this complaint about Wes Lee and Carmelo too. But at one point in this match, Kalani like turns away from a standing Wendy Chu to go do a springboard, or not a springboard, a handstand.
Well,
like something. But like when when Tajiri was doing the handspring elbow, it made sense because somebody was like chasing him or something. Kalani just turned away from a standing Wendy Chu. Maybe she had Groggy on, and they're like doing it like a video game.
You know Carmelo Hayes is her boyfriend, right?
That tracks. He's probably like, what if you did, like, you're going to do this flatliner, but what if you did it with the handspring elbow first? That's completely unrelated to the move you're doing. Even Wendy looked confused why she turned away from her to do this.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is Paul has a problem with Wes Lee, Kalani Jordan, Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
What do they all have in common?
They're all on the wrong side of the referees. All these referees, they need a thin blue line through their black and white stripes.
No. No.
How problematic can we make this? Give me the book. We're gonna write some storylines.
Yeah, what's that crazy ass referee? We need to get him back.
Earl Hebner?
Well, no, the most current guy that left NXT.
Nick Patrick? Referee who left NXT. Oh God, no. No. It doesn't need to be a
Not
shoot.
even him. Not even him.
No, that guy sucks so much. Anyway, yeah, let's take a break because we have more matches from this show to complain about. Right after this, we're going to talk about the North American Championship between Obafemi and Tony D'Angelo, and Roxanne defending her title, and then, of course, the match we all wanted to see, Joe Hendry challenging for the title and losing. Right after this.
If you're anything like me, you're enjoying this show called Didn't Get All of It. But what if I told you there was another show called Didn't Get All of It, but it's catered specifically to Japanese professional wrestling?
Where we're covering New Japan's G1 tournament, big news in the world of Stardom, Pro Wrestling Noah's excursions to the West, and anything important from Japanese pro wrestling.
We'll call us Triple H going out west because we're expanding. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And we're back with more NXT No Mercy. The North American Championship was on the line. Obafemi was defending against Tony D'Angelo of the D'Angelo family, the Don of NXT, the guy who wrestles in slacks.
Yeah, so
because he's a mobster.
No, that's his partner.
Yeah, both, all the things.
Lorenzo.
Channing slacks. So
this match
Tony
stunk.
D'Angelo. Yeah,
you thought this stunk?
Yeah.
I thought it was fine. I thought
it got fine toward the end.
They gave Tony a lot against Obafemi, which I didn't particularly enjoy.
No.
And I do wonder if they're about to call Tony up to the main roster, but I don't know what he does there. Like, this act stinks. He can't be the mafioso guy who's like having sit down dinners at Olive Garden and trying to look threatening against anybody on the main roster.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Is just like in ring, like wrestling wise, I think he's good, but like the gimmick doesn't suit him. And they have a better Tony D'Angelo within the stable with Crucifino or Lucifino, whatever the fuck his name is. He looks like Tony, even better. And, just let him run the stable and shit.
I don't know why you would call him up to not have, like, it's development in a way, but it's also development in, like, let's get this act over and then bring it to the main roster and do that right.
Nah.
And I don't think they've ever done that except for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Nah. I just don't like this gimmick on him or whatever. This dude is like a bona fide, legit wrestler. He's a award-winning amateur wrestler and all kinds of stuff or whatever. I mean, I've heard this dude talk without the crazy Italian accent and everything. He's just a normal dude who can wrestle really good, and they just
they got a lot of those too, though.
I mean, Tavion Heights is a good example of that. He's a dude that just like is killing it in the game, like Olympic style amateur wrestler, and he is just like in Japan right now, just doing all the great work and whatnot. And they can do the same thing with Tony D'Angelo if they strip the Tony D'Angelo away from this dude.
You could put him in American Made.
I wouldn't even mind
he's
that.
Just another guy in a group. He's just another guy in a group. Then we don't need that.
I would rather that over than this. But I mean, whatever.
Yeah, or just have Nunzio manage him. That'd be cool.
No. We had a conversation about this. Not us, but like Discord, which you can be a part of, fatal4pod.com. I don't like that shit either. Nah, fuck all
I
that.
liked the FBI. I thought that was a fun, like, they were wrestlers who were like mobsters. These guys who are more mobsters who also wrestle.
Who also, the opposite. Nah.
Yeah, they have too much gimmick and not enough wrestle. Where at least the FBI was like, we're tough guys, but we wrestle. And we're all
guys. Double chocolate.
We're tough guys over here.
Yeah.
I
mean,
at one point, D'Angelo kicked out of Oba's finish, which was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't love that.
Yeah, but then again, he would just destroy him later with 2 of his moves, and then it was donezo. Definitive. Yeah. So I like where they're going with Obafemi, but like my whole thing is like they keep him on this trajectory where he's just like murking people and just racking up these wins. Who do we have on the roster currently, or is it somebody later on down the line of the NXT, power plant factory, of making people that we give this win over Obafemi to? Or do we just get a Keith Lee situation to where this dude winds up being a double championship? Because like I believe he can be NXT champion bound if they keep working with him the way they are.
Keith Lee should
Wardlow will beat him eventually.
They're not hiring Wardlow.
I don't know about all that, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they also have a big problem with like, how many tough big men do we have to have? Because now they're doing it on Raw. Like, there's a lot of big meaty men slapping meat, and you don't want any of them taking losses.
Mm-hmm.
And then Oba would just, if he got called up someday, would fall into that pile.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Moose.
Yeah. On a aside, like if Obafemi
definitely not Moose.
Yeah, but on the side though, if Obafemi ever went up, just for the sheer optics of it or just shenanigans of the whole thing, I would like to see Obafemi versus Odyssey Jones.
I mean, that'd probably rule.
I want to see that. I want to see what that looks like.
Well, the referees are going to hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hate this match too much, but again, it didn't feel like it felt like a lot and not the lot that I would have given it.
Yeah.
But next match, Roxanne Perez against the very not over Jada Parker.
What? Are you saying that in jest? Because she is very, very.
Is she over? I didn't hear any reactions for her.
Dog. I mean, yeah, she's over for other reasons other than her in-ring acumen.
Man, every girl in this company is butt. Like,
no, not every. They have,
a lot of
but
them
not.
Are. A lot of them are look butt. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
She's
the
got
butt
Roxanne
is there.
Perez. Roxanne Perez
All
is
right.
so fucking good, and
Yes.
she's ready for it. But
Yes.
I think she's here because they have nobody else who's ready for it.
Which they kind of brought who's ready for it in at the end.
Right. Yeah, they have options now. But I thought
But
this
yeah,
match
currently. Mm-hmm.
I thought this match was pretty solid. I liked the amount of move stealing they did but they were really into that corner spot where they hang them on the second rope and slap the belly. I feel like they did that 3 different times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, lots of belly slapping. And I hate Jada's finish of "I hit you with my butt."
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I mean,
That's so stupid.
Is equated to, I don't know. Just what do you think? I mean, Naomi's rear view.
That's not a finish.
That's not
It's a really dumb spot in
It
all of her
was.
matches.
It was at a point. It's not
also,
anymore,
like,
but
Now, granted, I'm a white straight dude. I don't know if I have room to stand on this, but it does feel a little degrading to the women on the roster where your entire gimmick is hit girl with butt. But maybe they're into that. Maybe that's what, it's not me. They could say no.
I mean, her demo was probably me. So
I mean, I can appreciate their looks and stuff
Mhm.
just fine. But I think if your wrestling finishing move is I hit you with butt,
Yeah,
that's silly.
I get you.
Do a fucking overdrive.
No,
Don't do the overdrive.
no, please, no.
Actually, it would actually be good because her butt is so big that when she does it, it's like double
So,
effective because then the
well, I
head
mean,
also
I
bounces
mean,
off her ass.
I mean, if to your point, Cody, I mean, if we were going to talk about ass and like a mechanical standpoint as it pertains to professional wrestling and whatnot, Roxanne was having a time getting into pop rocks over all that ass.
Yeah, but she
Because
still got all of it.
Kind of, yeah. Because like she,
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with Paul. I don't see anything special with Jada Parker. She
Paul
doesn't
didn't
impress
say
me.
that.
They
It's
were
just-
talking to her
it's just
big
that
time on
move.
commentary even after the match. Like in the next match, they found time to talk about her having like a star making moment tonight. And
Nah,
I don't
think
know,
that
like
much.
I thought it was fine.
It was all right.
Um,
Yeah,
we talked about it already. It's tough to believe anybody beating Roxanne who is on the roster because she beat Jordan Grace. And I just don't think you can do that. Like she probably shouldn't have won that match, but
nope.
at a certain point, Jada Parker's butt got in her way when she crashed into the barricade with her butt and broke it, which led to the crowd chanting, "Holy shit," because they're the dumbest fucking people on the planet. They've never, like, falling through a barricade happens every single show.
Yeah, and wrestling fans are dumb, so I mean, take that for a grain of salt.
And then Roxanne went and hit the pop rocks outside of the ring
On a
onto
cushy
the
pad.
on the softest barricade in the world. And then when they finally got back into the ring, she hit another pop rocks and pinned her. Which I do appreciate. They did this earlier with the Wes Lee thing. Like, you do something big on the outside, you shouldn't get the opportunity to just like do a full recovery in the ring. So it does make sense. Like, if you got your ass beat outside, unless you can shift the momentum and undo all the turnbuckle lights, it makes sense that you would lose pretty quickly. So I do appreciate that. But the stuff that was cool about this was after the match, the lights went out and we got some generic music. And then a bunch of smoke filled the place. And Julia is here, folks. And she looked very nervous for a minute.
Yeah.
But she looks cool as shit. I don't know anything about her other than I hear great things.
Oh my God.
And looking
Yes.
forward to this.
If you want to know more, tune in for Didn't Get All of It Japan.
Was she also spooky? Because why did the lights go out?
No.
She got cool fog.
Yeah,
She's got
not-
Silent Hill fog.
Yeah, not typically from what I've observed. I mean, Kaz and Will be able to talk more about that. But like from what I've seen from her, is like this lady here is just like a raw, just straight up ass kicker, man. It's just
Well, there's a lot of ass to kick.
yeah, especially if she fighting
'Cause-
Jada Parker.
Sometimes that
Yeah.
ass kicks you.
Yeah, or Lola Vice, or
Uh-huh.
Ariana Grace, or
Lash Legend.
yeah.
Just a lot of stuff.
I feel like we could go on.
Mhm.
like, it was a
but,
lot.
but let's not. I digress. This is where we put digression in here.
Yeah. It's just B-Rob search history.
Hey.
Okay, private mode. Fine. There's nothing there.
Okay.
Yeah, Julia
That's
looks
how it
really cool. I'm looking forward to Julia against Roxanne. It'll be nice that Roxanne's in there with someone who
Caliber
probably doesn't
talent.
need. Yeah, probably doesn't need the development tag.
Mm-hmm. This woman literally right before she came here went through a gauntlet match of the company on her way out. She said she wanted to fight everybody before she left, and that's what she did.
Did she beat everybody?
Tune in for Didn't Get
Did
All
she
of
put-
It Japan.
Did she put anyone over on the way out of the promotion?
Yes.
Okay. Before we get to the main event, they set up some stuff for the upcoming NXT show. They're doing a triple threat tag match with Gallus against the Rascals against the fucking worst tag team.
Axiom.
That already sounds
not
bad.
Axiom.
Again, they're gonna face Axiom, and
Yeah.
this is number one contendership match. It's Gallus, Rascals, and Public's Enemy taking on each other for a shot at Axiom and Nathan Frazier on the NXT CW show, which they also said the winner of this next match will defend the title on that show. And I think there's something else, but they're trying to stack that show up, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Does GTA
And then-
San Andreas still work here?
Yes.
Yeah, Jada Parker was just in that match.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's part of
the
that group.
stable.
She even has GTA load music as her theme.
Okay,
At least that's what it sounded like.
yeah.
And then like what was this one? Was October 1st in Chicago or St. Louis? Because one of them gonna have Orton, one of them gonna have Punk.
Chicago, then St. Louis.
Okay, all right, yeah. So there you go. You got that extra added feature to that show as well.
Does Cora Jade come back in Chicago?
So see, now this is the thing that we was talking about before or whatever. We thought like, you know, when they had that promo between Roxanne and Jada, the person that they were talking to off screen was Cora Jade. And we kind of figured like, and then not figured, but like we was speculating that like Cora Jade would run in on this match, align herself with Roxanne, and then we would have Roxanne, Cora Jade versus Julia and Stephanie Vaquer to break them all in.
Who do you think gets the Joe Hendry spot at these shows? Is it Punk or Orton? I think Punk gets it.
Yeah, probably Punk.
Like they're going to have an in-ring on-screen interaction. And I think Chicago will be kinder to that. And I
Yeah,
also
I
think the desire of people in this company for Orton to RKO Joe Hendry would be too fucking high.
Yeah.
So I don't want
I
to see
think-
that.
Yeah, I think it would be beneficial more if Punk was in that role.
I think tonight was the last we saw of Joe Hendry.
That's
I don't
insane.
think he's-
I don't.
I don't think he's back on
They
NXT
protected him
until
very
this
well in this.
TNA.
I think he's back. He's there on Tuesday. I guarantee it. He didn't lose this match clean at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's definitely still around. He's also like the biggest star they have and the only interesting act they have, at least on the male side. This was the special guest referee Trick Williams match with Ethan Page defending against Joe Hendry, who was, believe it or not, extremely over. And
I can imagine.
I thought this match was really good, and it started. It started like solid, like feeling each other out, just doing moves. Good stalling suplexes. Both guys doing lots of vertical suplexes in here.
Yeah,
but
and then like Joe Hendry is showing athleticism that like I did not even see when I watched him in TNA.
That's because he wrestles 4-minute matches in TNA against some of the shittiest wrestlers on the planet. Like,
well, he does more. He does more shenanigans in TNA.
It's insane how poorly they've used him.
I showed you
there.
the stuff. Yeah,
I've seen a ton of his shit now, and
I
like his Hardy Boys entrance.
He's definitely more athletic than he looks.
Yes,
because
surprisingly so.
He's got to work on that muffin top.
He's a big guy, man.
Yeah, it's a body business. But anyway,
he's in like great shape. You're nuts.
Look at Punk.
Punk. We were just talking about how he's in the best shape of his entire career.
Yeah, Punk has definitely lost his little soft belly. He's not ripped or anything, but he's doing work.
This is my first Joe Hendry match. I thought it was fine.
Was this really your first Joe Hendry match?
Yes, he's completely fine. He did a couple cool things. I enjoyed his like pole vault plancha or whatever you want to call it to the outside.
Yeah,
I thought that was unique.
He's done that a few times. It's stupid and I love it. It's like how can I hurt myself? Let's try this.
It's mostly good, and the match was fine, but I just despised the finish.
There was a lot of shenanigans in the finish.
Ethan Page won, but the shenanigans. There's nothing more that I hate in a special guest referee match than when there's a ref bump, because at least
Paul,
ref
what
bumps,
did you say?
when there's a ref bump with a normal referee, it is logical because they're not professional athletes and a bump would hurt them. But you're telling me that Trick Williams, who was just NXT champion, gets like pushed and falls out of the ring and he sells for 10 minutes? Come on. It's fucking stupid. And then another ref comes out and makes a pin and Trick Williams stops that for some reason. Why?
That part didn't make a ton of sense to me. I thought it had to do with the DDT on the title belt, but then he didn't say that. And then the commentary team overcorrected and was like, yeah, that wouldn't be a DQ. That just happened to be where his head fell. And I'm like, oh, so Trick Williams just like, and then they said later, he's the referee. He wanted to make the pin. And I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No.
Yeah. And then like, if we want to get stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about how, he put the referee shirt on and Paul, you would say he lost 10 XP or some shit like that.
Yeah,
right?
They nerfed him.
Yeah. But it's just like, it's different when you're competing to where you're not expecting it or whatever. And he got unexpectedly knocked out. I know. It's just like pussified. It was pussified. I get it.
Or something.
Yeah,
right.
I get it. It was pussified, but he wasn't expecting it.
If they wanted that, it should have been like Ethan Page should have like hit him with the belt. It should have been like
it would have made
a
it
devastating blow from Ethan Page that would have made sense for him to be knocked out, but also made sense for him to come back in and be pissed.
Well, yeah,
and stop.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
because otherwise it made no fucking sense. It made Trick look like a kind of a dick for no reason. And I don't know. I thought everyone looked stupid, and then low blow, and Ethan Page wins. Woohoo!
I will say the timing of his breaking up that pin was impeccable.
Yes, very good.
Like the slide in to stop the 3 was really, really good. Mm-hmm. I liked this match a bit. Definitely the longest Joe Hendry match I've ever seen. Which to me,
it seemed like it was nothing but a vehicle for
of course it
what
was.
would follow.
Yeah, of course. My thought is like, as someone who is new to the Joe Hendry thing and thinking he was just a meme wrestler, these are the types of matches where I'm like, oh no, this guy has it. Like he's more than a meme. And I thought he was great here. I think he's not done with the title picture. I think he might detour a little bit. But yeah, after the near fall, with the ref bump, Ethan Page went to hit Trick Williams, and Trick ducked, and Ethan hit the other ref, who then Trick went to go check on, allowing Ethan Page to hit a low blow on Joe Hendry, and then the Ego's Edge, which Joe Hendry had already taken one earlier in the match onto the barricade, or not barricade, the apron, which was a pretty good 10 count spot for the outside. But I hated that he didn't win here. I thought they should have done it.
Yeah.
And then after Pete Dunne beat up Trick Williams outside, and that was it.
Yeah. So I had a lot of speculation going into this match, like since it was so much TNA crossover and so many TNA ties for this match or whatever, that we would get a run in from a TNA talent and whatnot, but we didn't get any of that. So
yeah, you kept saying a name like Josh Alexander as if anyone has a fucking clue who that is.
I mean,
if anybody from TNA ran in during this match, it would have been if you thought Cody was mad about the near fall, just wait until some bald doofus that no one's ever seen runs in, and the commentary team has to be like, that's this guy from here. It's the same. It would be like Logan Paul matches where he always has like weirdos you've never seen before in the corner.
Yeah. Either
you'd be better off getting the Costco boys to run in, because at least some people know who they are.
I don't know.
So many people know who they are.
Some people do.
So
more people know them than Josh Alexander.
That's absolutely true. That's there's no arguing that.
Yeah, but they all don't watch wrestling. It's okay.
You don't have to watch all of it to get all of it.
Yeah, but then again, we wouldn't have the show being named the way it is.
I think I would be furious if they sent in like someone who's not been on any NXT TV into this match for the sake of having a funky finish. I think this is a much better approach than digging in the TNA barrel for something. Also, like the TNA people they have are like the only ones I want to see. Like, I think the Rascals are good. Jordan Grace is great. And Joe Hendry. That's it. Who else do you need from TNA?
Dolph Ziggler.
JBL. The Hardys.
No, and no.
Not Moose and his group.
No, hell no. Nah, the only
AJ
people that
Francis.
I think...
Like, I'm just naming people I know that are there.
Kushida.
And they all stink.
Chris Bay.
No. Yes.
They just lost Kushida.
Yes.
They did?
Yes.
No, WWE did.
No, I'm just saying, like...
Isn't he in TNA?
Yeah, that's why he said that. But like legit, Chris Bay and Ace Austin. Hell yeah, right off top. Fucking right.
Okay, I've never heard of either, so I can't dunk on them. But the people I did list, I have seen and heard of, and don't need them.
The people that you named, I don't need them either.
The ones that they have are the ones that you want. And if this is blatant contract tampering, they are smart to do it. And TNA clearly doesn't give a shit. So I think TNA also understands their place in the industry and knows, like, this is not the last stop for someone like a Joe Hendry. It might be the last stop for a Jeff Hardy, but
yeah, because it was ROH at one point, then it was TNA at one point, because I mean they all passed through either one of those.
Well, I would say we didn't get all of it, but we did. We got all of it this weekend with WWE and NXT. Is there anything else you guys wanted to chat about before I hit fade out on the closing music?
Happy birthday, Paul.
Happy birthday,
thanks.
Paul.
I thought the other show did that. Happy birthday if it's your birthday. Yeah, so thanks for joining us on this very special PLE edition of Didn't Get All of It. We have been the Fatal Four. If you liked this, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You know how to do that because you probably subscribe to many podcasts. Just add us to that, and we are generally new every Friday morning. This week we are taking a Labor Day, but we will be back next week. And in the meantime, Didn't Get All of Japan drops this Wednesday with an all-new episode, and Squirt Circle Strafe drops Monday with a brand new episode. So if you haven't gotten enough of us and you want to get more of it, B-Rob will be there and Noah will be there for you. Otherwise, have a great week. Bye.
Thank you.